your previous video, we created a guide tone line. We can use this guide tone line as it is, or we can add additional voices to create a 3 or 4 voice texture. In a majority of cases, the chords to be realized are 4 tones or less, yet we usually have more than 4 voices available with which to play them. This means that 2 or more voices will often need to share a single chord tone. Sharing the same chord tone is called doubling. The rules of doubling are as follows. The root of a chord is the best chord tone to double because it reinforces the tonality and function of the chord. The third and seventh are the least desirable to double because they are so strong that doubling them would overpower the other chord tones. The fifth can be doubled because it's relatively weak and therefore can be reinforced without destroying the function of the chord. If you have to leave a voice out in order to maintain smooth voice leading, the fifth is the best choice. Because it is the same in both minor and major chords, it does very little to affect the overall tonality. As the third and seventh of the chord are already present in the guide tone line, additional voices will make use of the root and the fifth of the chord. It's important to remember that the root is usually covered by the bass, and so we'll begin by adding the fifth of the G minor 7 to complete the chord. D is not a chord tone in C minor 7, and so we have to change pitch. Note that this chord does not have a fifth, which is G. Leaping to the G would provide the missing chord tone, but the leap would disrupt the flow of the line. Also, as previously stated, the fifth provides little information as to the quality of the chord, and so it can easily be omitted. Moving by step to either E flat or C will result in a doubling. E flat is the third of the C minor 7, and is already present in the guide tone line. C is the root of the chord and is in the bass. It's better to double the root than the third as the root provides more stability, and so we'll choose the C. C is a chord tone to both C minor 7, where it is the root, and F minor 7, where it is the fifth. Because it is a common tone to both chords, we will sustain it. We can repeat this process for the remaining chords in order to create a smooth, effective 3-voice texture. Now let's add an additional voice to create a 4-voice texture. All members are present in the G minor 7. Whenever this is the case, you should always try to double the root. G is a common tone to both G minor 7 and C minor 7, and so we'll sustain it. F minor 7 has all chord tones present, and so we'll move by step to F and double the root. Repeating this process will provide a smooth 4-voice texture. In arranging, a smooth background voicing that outlines harmony and supports foreground material is called a pad. The previous guide tone line, the 3-part texture, and the 4-part texture are all examples of pads. Pads often feature very simple rhythms. Listen to this example of a lush, sustaining string pad. Occasionally, using simple rhythmic variation will add movement and draw attention to the pad when it's needed, like this. In review, here are some terms that you should know. A pad is a smooth background voicing that outlines harmony and supports foreground materials. Voice leading refers to the manner in which voices move from one chord to the next. Guide tones are a pair of voices that change pitch as little as possible throughout the progression. A common tone is a note that is contained in two adjacent chords.